Yo, it's good. This is Mega.
And I like real people, and I know you're real.
Thank you.
I've been a fan for for a long time, so I'm very glad to be here. But we're gonna start off and do a little interview with you, and talk about your life and stuff. You ready for that?
Okay.
You sure?
I think so.
Okay. I'm not gonna behave, but I'm gonna be nice to you. Okay. So okay, Cormega, you from Long Island City?
Nah.
All right, exactly. So check me.
I'm from New York City. I lived a lot of places in New York.
Where you originally from?
I was born in this place called Brooklyn, actually.
Brooklyn's in the house. Okay.
So
all right.
I moved around a lot,
Okay.
due to situations in my family, tragic situations.
All right.
Like my mom said. So I lived a lot of places, and I walk a lot of places. I walk through Fort Greene, I get love.
Okay.
I walk through Far Rockaway, I get love. I walk through Queensbridge, I get love. I walk through the Bronx, I get love.
Yeah.
I walk this, I walk that walk in New York.
You walk the streets.
Yeah.
That's right.
I love New York. I'm New York.
So you are New York, basically.
I'm New York.
So you're from New York.
Yes, ma'am.
That's right. Man, that works all right. So because you have a lot of associations. You grew up with a lot of people, Nas.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
AZ, Nature, Capone-N-Noreaga.
I didn't grow up with all the rappers.
Yeah.
Like that. That's like some fan-created fantasy. I think that's on like Wikipedia or whatever. Like everything that's on those things isn't accurate.
Exactly.
So a lot of rappers, I met AZ later on in life.
Okay.
Through Nas.
All right.
And I think I would have met AZ through my man Yammy, God bless his dad, from Brownsville. And that's how I met A. We've been cool since. And some of the other rappers that you've mentioned, I met them during my journey in life.
Okay.
Capone, I knew Capone for a while. Capone, we had a crew called Goodfellas and in Queensbridge, and we was known for being notorious guys. Not something that I'm proud of right now, but we did a lot of dirt.
Okay.
And Capone used to be around us,
Okay.
So I've been to Capone, and some of the other rappers I didn't even know.
Okay.
So all that Cormega grew up in Queensbridge with rap with this one is like we Smurfs and everybody. That's not
That's
Smurf
just the
Village.
story, right?
Exactly. Like Roxanne Shante from Queensbridge, but I didn't really know her until later on in life. You know what I'm saying? So,
shoot, I grew up in Queens. I can say I know you did. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So it's like a lot of stories about me are not true. I met people down the line. My cousin Cormega is responsible for my whole Queensbridge everything. He's the one who convinced me to come to Queensbridge, and he introduced me to certain people. So that's how that happened.
Okay. So, all right. So you had a little rough childhood.
Yeah.
Growing up, you went through some things.
I had a roller coaster. I had turbulence. I had the darkest of times, and I had good times, and it was a roller coaster because everything was good, and everything was bad, and everything was good, and then crack came out, and I guess my pops was one of the first samplers of it. Okay. So I had to go through that phase, and Brooklyn, like I said, I was born in Brooklyn. I was born twice in Brooklyn because I was born physically in Brooklyn, and Brooklyn also is where I first started selling crack. So that birthed me into the street accidentally.
I like that, born twice.
You know what I'm saying? So I started hustling in Brooklyn. Accidentally, I found a crack on the floor, and the very moment I was on my way to school, and I found a crack on the floor in my hallway, and then a crackhead walked in the building. And they asked me, do I got work? And I said, I had the crack that was picked up, and I said, and I gave it to them, and they gave me $10.
Wow.
And I was like, oh shit.
And that was your first sale?
It was like, this is too easy. In my mind, I was like, I wish that, if that never happened,
then things would have probably different.
Yeah, but I was like, oh hell no. And it was on from there.
And it was on from there. So how old were you about then? You were like, what, high school? Or maybe a little younger?
14, 15.
Okay, about high school age.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that ruined high school for me.
Okay, you stopped going, or you just, got caught up in it?
When I was going to school, I used to go to school in Far Rockaway from Brooklyn. And people that went to high school with me in Far Rockaway, they will attest to this. They used to call me, like girls used to call me the Valley Boy. Because back then, you know, valleys was like, you know, it was a big deal. So it wasn't a big deal to me because I didn't realize it, but to regular people it was a big deal. So I was coming to school with valley, like I can show you pictures, like forget talking.
You would fly, right?
Oh yeah, it's known, it's known. So I was wearing like crazy stuff, so I was known for that when I was going to school. But I got bored with it because it's like, I think KRS-One made a song about it one time. It's like, I'm making more money than the teacher, and the teacher's yelling at me. And when you're young, you have this, especially when you're in teenage years, you all have this stubborn teenage rebellion arrogance, because you think, now I'm coming into adulthood and I know everything. You think you know everything, but you really don't. So I didn't think of the pitfalls and consequences of crack. I just knew I'm getting money, I'm fly, I go shopping when I want, I didn't think about jail, consequences of it, death, the decline in it, because everything has its ups and its downs. Like there's recessions in business, there's recessions in drugs too. I thought I was gonna sell crack forever. So there was no need for me to go to school. That was my ignorant thinking. So that's the thing.
Big at what point did you get into the rap game when you started, you know, doing music? Because I do know you served time in jail. Now, when did that happen? Because the music came before you went in, right?
I was rapping, I knew how to rap my whole life, pretty much. The thing with me was, but I told myself, like, God ain't gonna let you do everything right. Like, you're not gonna thrive as a drug dealer and thrive as a rapper. Which one you want more? And back in the days, I was the most popular rapper in Queensbridge.
Okay.
But I was selling crack.
You was selling crack.
So I didn't care about the rap.
Okay.
Like, so some of my friends, as far as, I'm not talking about popular as far as records and all that.
Yeah.
Because back then, Shan was the Don. And then Craig G was that dude. Shantae, Poet, everybody doing their thing. But I'm talking about when people in the projects, you know how there's people in the NBA, but wherever hood you from, there's somebody that can play ball with dudes be like, I'll put money on this dude.
Yeah.
I was that dude people would put money on. Like, if there's a jam, I don't care what rap it is, they didn't want it with me at a jam. If somebody putting up money, I was that dude. But I was so into the streets that it took me into other places. So, as I told somebody recently, you can never knock. Like, certain rappers from my hood, people have criticized them saying like they talk about the streets but they really wasn't in it. Yeah. But I told my friends that say that, I say, you can't knock those rappers because they are in the position they're in because they worked to get there, even if they wasn't in the street. And the fact that they wasn't in the street is what allowed them to be successful. So they deserve everything they got. Yeah. See, so when I was in the street, or when I was having shootouts, which I thought was cool but wasn't, or when I was selling drugs, which I thought was a never-ending thing, people like Marv D was going to studios more than me. Nas was going to studios, and other artists was going to studios. So everything that they got, they earned. They earned it. So you can't knock none of them for what they've done. If they wasn't, so that's what I recently had to tell some of my street guys. You know, we got to come to grips with that. And at the same time, like if it wasn't for them doing what they do, you wouldn't have the notoriety. Because them speaking about Queensbridge, you know, glorified the street dudes and helped other dudes with their situation. So me being in the streets, I realized like if I would have gave the studio the same effort that I gave the streets, I wouldn't have been in a situation to go to jail. You went to jail, exactly. So I had to deal with Marley Marl years ago. Marley Marl, there's a group called Lords of the Underground. Yeah. Marley Marl had what they used to call was a package deal. A package deal is like you get it, all right, you sign this group, but I want you to sign this artist also. He had Marley Marl was the Don. He had a package deal with Pendulum, Lords of the Underground, Cormega. Well, unfortunately, Cormega, right about the time of that deal, is about to blow trial and be sentenced to some time. So I went to jail. So while I'm in jail, I got a chance to reflect on my life and my mistakes. and struggle builds character. When I was in jail, they put me in solitary confinement. Like that's like a jail within the jail. That's like when you get in trouble, you go to the box.
Okay.
Solitary confinement is a punishment for some, but it was the best thing that could ever happen to me, because when I'm in solitary confinement, you're just in a room. There's no TV, there's no recreation. You might get recreation like an hour every other day. You get a shower, I think every other day.
Wow.
They feed you through a door, through a hole. See, this is stuff the rappers don't talk about, because they haven't seen it, they haven't lived it. So this is not me glorifying it. They feed you through a door. But one thing that they constantly give you when you're in the box, where I was at, was books. One of the first books that I said, let me open and read was the autobiography of Malcolm X.
Wow.
By, I believe, Alex Haley.
Alex Haley.
Changed me. Because Malcolm started from the bottom. That's why Malcolm is so revered, more revered by goons and street dudes, even more than Martin and etc. Because we could relate to him.
He lived that life.
He was in jail. He came from the bottom. He's uneducated. Then in the book, one of the most important things was how he said he wasn't educated. But when he came to jail, he read and he left with a degree. So I told myself, really, I was a dropout. I left jail with college credits. This is me.
Nice.
But reading that book motivated me to become more than what I was.
Okay.
So me being in a box was excellent, because it made me, sometimes you can live an entire life without knowing who you really are.
True.
So me being in the box let me know, I found out who I was, and what I wanted, and what I didn't want, and what I didn't want to be. I opened that book, it enlightened me. I decided, once I got out the box, you know, as soon as I go into population, and I was in population too, I don't do the protective custody thing. Was dying like that.